that attaches the front to the rear is actually a very simple locking mechanism. And then it engages into the secondary pin down on the bottom. So you've got this pin as well that engages and stops that from moving around. At this point, there's really nothing that stops that from tipping other than, that is a little dry in here, there. The bracket itself has got a slot to receive the shock absorber and the seat carrier. But there's nothing, and this was one of the deficiencies that I had when I first brought it to Jackie, is it actually came apart right there. And I had a slide mechanism, which is a secondary lock system to this, and locks and engages there. But, and there's also a push button on the back, stops it from sliding back and accidentally coming apart. But with the foot pedals down, she could still separate it, push this area apart. So I then put this mechanism in. It's just a reinforcement that locks in, and now nothing gets torn apart. So that was easy enough to put together. And obviously, I'm gonna have to wash the cap on this. The wheels go in, again, very easy. By pushing that button, it will actually go into the receiver and slide in, and they're all adjusted so that they slide only so far, and then they don't come back out. So that's easy enough to do, to put the wheels in. So we'll put the second wheel in. There it is.
And I noticed that you have 4 or 5 different places so that they can adjust where the wheels sit.
The center of gravity is determined by the weight of the individual.
Okay.
So if you're leg heavy versus torso heavy, it's going to put the weight forward or backwards. So this gives an ability to actually take and move. You can see the axle holes. You have 5 adjustments. Right now, with 100 pounds in the seat centered, it's not going to tip backwards, and it's not too heavy on the front. So you've got that adjustability, and that's some field adjustments that need to be made. You'll do that once you get out of the field, but I'm confident that you might not have to move this at all. Oh, we can put the armrests in. Again, the armrests go in, push buttons. The brakes are mounted on the armrests. It's the only place I could mount them. And that goes in. Fairly simple. Right there. A little bit of pounding. Just simple enough. Again, this was not made in a precision machine shop. It was made in my woodworking shop, so the tolerances are snug, but they work. Brakes engage by pulling, because as you're spinning the wheels forward, you want them to disengage. You don't want to engage the brakes when you're doing 3 miles an hour. Okay, so the forward momentum, even accidentally hitting the lever, is not going to damage your chair. But when you're parked, you are parked, and that's where it stays. Again, the handles go in several different adjustments, so you adjust them accordingly. And what I was talking about, lifting potential, if you remove that, pull that out of there, put that in, put the handle on the back, and now you've got something to lift the chair with, so you can carry them. So. There's no tools needed for assembly or disassembly. The tools are needed for adjustment. And some of the areas that might need adjustment, obviously the front caster, I put it in there a little snug. Along the way might need to be adjusted, a little twist of a wrench, not a problem. Foot pedals have screws on them, might need to be tightened. Bolts for adjusting the leg height, and then all the retainers, fasteners that hold everything together might need the tools. So with that being said, the tool that I made for this particular wheelchair is this little guy. It's got all the sizes available. So you don't have to carry, you want to feel a heavy tool. You know, the original piggyback backpack had this wrench, which I'm bringing along anyway because it does come in handy. But you feel the difference. See how thin that is, and it's even heavier than the thicker one. So aluminum versus steel, obviously. And then we've got Allen wrenches for the adjustments of the brakes and to tighten up the wheel brackets. And that's the toolbox that you need is on the back of the seat. So a couple of things to be concerned with, obviously, is the potential loss of tools and the loss of the axles. Those are the two things that I just couldn't weld in place and keep them there.